Hi, Hiram here. In my last video, I think it was my last video, I was showing this remote fuel station that I use, how I make it and stuff like that. I guess it got a little complicated for some people, so I had a couple people ask me, is there an easier remote feed station that I could make or show you how to make? So I was thinking about it, and I remembered another project that I did some time ago. Picture yourself having it's what they call a water leveler, a water level. Say you have to make a deck that's 40 feet long, 40 feet wide on the one side. I don't know if you can see this. Let's say, it's a deck, the whole bit. And you want to make sure this is level. Sometimes it takes kind of expensive equipment to do that, but what you can do is make yourself a water level where you have a hose, a clear hose, you put water in it. The water in both sides will be the same height. So you get the water to the height on this side, and you can check for the other side just by having, the water come through. Water finds its own level, is what I'm trying to say. So this is a water level, so I was thinking, why not convert it into something like this is the remote and this is the stove or burner. Have the regular hose that we have going between the two of them. Put your alcohol in here to a certain level, and this will go through the hose into the other side and ultimately fall at the same level. So it's just an easy little water level thing. I'm going to call it the leveler. That's what I'm calling the bubbler now. I'll explain that someday. So I was thinking how to build it. I'm going to use the same 1-inch PVC cap. You have to file the one side to get it flat so that you can put the nipple in there. And then I looked around to see what I could fit inside that. And I remember these, this is Captain Morgan, these small liquor bottles. They fit real good in there. So I emptied one of the bottles. You've seen how I do that on a previous video. Cut off the bottom of this. Just cut the bottom off. Stuck it down in the PVC with a little bit of crazy glue on it. And it's in there nice and tight. So all you have to do is you just fill it through the top and it goes through. But then I got thinking, there's a lot of young viewers on here that don't have access to liquor, so that may be not such a hot idea. So I continued looking around, and I found this tube that I got a couple of years back, a year back I guess. It had some sort of exercise material in it. You eat it after you've been exercising, and it makes you build muscles. Had a couple of these that I got from a friend. So turned out this fits into the cap real nice. Well, that looks like a job to be done. Anyway, it fits in there. So I cut that off to a height and put it in there. Now you can have your liquid in there. You still got a cap and the whole bit. So basically just look around the house for something that will fit into a 1-inch cap if you want to use the 1-inch PVC cap. Some medicine bottles, a little loose, but a little hot glue in there and you've got it made. But I think you want something that you can see into. That's the only problem with this bottle. You can't quite see into it. Then, so once you have the bottle made, cut it off in there, glued, a little bit of hot glue on, put your nipple on. All you do is just hook it up to your stove, or burner in this case. Now normally you try to keep these apart, as far away as apart as you can. You put your load of alcohol or methanol, you just fill it in like so. Practice with this a couple of times and you'll find out what level you have to do this at to fill it the first time. You don't want to overfill this or this will overfill. But if you look at this side by side, if I keep my alcohol to the height of the cap, That should be low enough not to overflow, but yet to keep the carbon felt nice and wet. Sometimes you have to lift it to get it primed. Okay, it looks like it's going through. Now, as you watch, the alcohol is going through the hose, so the level in this is lowering down. And that's the only bad thing with something like this over a bubbler. You can use a larger container there, like I do with this one. I just put this in the bubbler, and it can go for quite a while. In this one, you end up having to refill it every so often. So you just keep it away from the flame. That feels like it's wet enough. Let's light it. And there you've got what I call a leveler remote fuel station. So you end up having to watch this. You'll have to fill it up every couple of minutes or so. After the first time, the first load, it's going to take the level down real far. So even here, I'm a little bit below the level of the cap. So I might pour some more in there. But you can see it's making a nice flame. Okay, now on the other one, on this one, when I was done, I just unhooked the stuff, turn it upside down, and then take the cap off, take the stand off rather, and put the cap back on, and then I'm ready to go. On this one, what you end up having to do, blow out your flame or let it run out. But with this one, if you have alcohol left in the fuel station, you can just take it and pour it back into your storage bottle. Okay, that almost, see, there was stuff in the line and it's getting a little high there. I should have let it burn out, but for time restraints here, I did it this way. So what I would do is let this burn out so you're not carrying a bunch of alcohol in here. And your fuel station is empty. Put your lid back on. You can also control the flow of this in two ways. Either with a clamp, where you clamp off the wire, or if you have alcohol in this, if you put the cap on and screw it down, it's going to get a vapor lock there, and that'll stop the alcohol from flowing through. So I hope that helps. This is what I call the leveler. Like I said, just get yourself, I use the 1-inch PVC because it's a nice steady base. The smaller ones you might end up, tipping them over or whatever. Get yourself a 1-inch cap. Look around the house, see what you have that fits in there, and then modify it to whatever you need. In this case, if it's a little big, some hot glue in there should hold it in place. With something like this bottle, it's a nice fit in there. But you have to be able to get the bottles, the plastic bottles, not the glass ones, the plastic bottles. Oh, as far as for cutting them too, what I did with that was I scored a line with this PVC cutter on the bottle. I couldn't seem to cut the bottle, it just kept denting in, but it did scratch a line on it, and then from there I just took a hacksaw and just cut it apart. So you need a tool like this, you need a hacksaw, you still need the 11/64 drill for the nipple, and some sort of file or sandpaper or something to make the to flatten the one side of this PVC cap. And that's about all the tools you need. Okay, is that it? Yeah, I think so. So I thank you for watching. Like I said, I hope this helps. I thank you for watching. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions. And as always, watch for my buddy Max. Bye now.